Hey guys, I'm sure you guys haven't seen me in over a year. Yesterday, a friend reminded me that sometime by this time last year, I was struggling with my life, and that's true. I was in so much pain for months. I was going to the hospital every 10 hours for IV injection and then butt injection. Like no, like I mean, they have to. There's an injection they have to give me on my butt every 10 hours, and that include the one through my veins too. So, but yeah, ignore my voice. I have flu. I'm sick, and if I prolong this, I'm never gonna do the video. I'm sick. My nose is blocked. My throat is blocked. I can't swallow anything. I have constant headache from cough, and yeah, I'm struggling. But yeah, I said I'm gonna share what happened a year ago. One of the reason I stopped recording. So let me turn on the light first. Ignore my sick and rough face. And the bad thing about me falling sick is that my skin always glows. Like I become a little bit lighter or anything. But I know right now I'm struggling from bad water. So yeah, let's go back to why I'm recording today. Why I said I was going to tell you guys why I haven't been on YouTube in over a year. So yesterday, a friend reminded me this time last month, I was struggling with my life. And I was in so much pain last year. I mean, before then, I was having what they call is a block. Oh, there's a thing called writer's block or something, writer's block or something. But yeah, excuse my English. It's not that great. This is not my first language. My first language is actually Pidgin English. But yeah, let me go straight to the point before all this. So in July 12th, 2021, I think July 12th, or I think 12 or 11, it was on a Sunday. My little sister was here for vacation, she and a friend. And they were sleeping beside me on the bed. It was around 3, I think past 2. I woke up with so much pain. If you and my friend, you know me very well, I hardly complain about my pain. I grumble when I've already sorted it out. So I was in so much pain, but I didn't want to wake them up. And at that time, Uber and Taxify doesn't start working until 4 a.m. So they go off 12 a.m. and they start working back on 4 a.m. So even if I'm dying, there's no way we're going to leave here till 4 a.m., at least 4 a.m. So I was in so much pain. I was shaking my leg. And I was like, this can't be, period. And my period is not supposed to be coming by this time of the month, because I have what I call I forgot the medical terms. I would just use the word irregular menstruation, or should I say, or what should I, my hand is hurting, sorry guys. I would just say I have what they call I have what they call hormonal imbalance. So sometimes part of the month my period comes earlier, and sometimes in the year my periods come later. So yeah, so obviously I know it wasn't period, because period pain wasn't as painful as this. It was so painful. I was struggling. And then past 4, I wanted at the time, it got to past 4. You know when you're in so much pain, right? You check time, the time doesn't move. And past 4, the kids were still sleeping. I didn't want to wake them up. So I went into the kitchen. I didn't use the water heater, because I didn't use the electric jug, because I've noticed that the electric jug drags so much current, and sometimes it burns the switches in the kitchen. And most times I've changed more than 10 switches since I came to this house. So and then again, if I have to plug the water, I have to plug 2 jugs, because I bought a lot of water. So I said, let me boil water on the kettle, like cooking kettle. So sorry guys, yeah, my battery is low. So I said, let me boil with the kitchen kettle. So I run the water. So I don't remember, but I'd collapsed in the kitchen. I woke up with the noise of, when you pour water on the kettle and then it boils, and then the heavy noise from the kettle. I woke up later on the floor, and I was in so much pain, struggled to have my bath. It was almost 6. I couldn't bear it no more. I woke my sister. I'm like, I don't understand what is going on. I'm in so much pain. I can't explain. It was really bad. But it's Sunday, and then in Nigeria there's a lot of religious thing where people don't open certain places till maybe afternoon or Monday, you get. And so we went. I was like, I don't want to go to the hospital straight. I want to go to a proper lab for them to check, do a scan for everything. You get. I don't want to go to just hospital. I want to go to a place, an hospital that has a scan and everything, so I could do tests. And so there's this one close to, not too far from the house. We went there. It was Sunday, and they said they don't open on Sunday. And I was like, okay, you know what? Let's just go to the hospital that I normally do all my tests. That includes STD, everything. I'm like, oh, let's go to that hospital. I've seen someone did surgery there before. Let's just go. We went there, and the doctor was in a hurry to go to church. And I was like, can you check what's wrong with me? I'm in so much pain. The doctor touched me, and he said, I probably have urinary infection. And I'm like, how do I get that? Like, I stay alone. If the kids are around, we have 2 toilets in this house. I wash my toilet I don't wait till Saturday till I wash my toilet. When I go to public toilet, I flush like twice before I use it, and I always use water to wash after. Do you get? So I was like, how do I get that? Like, it's not like I'm sexually active at that time or anything. I don't know what causes that, but it was just weird. And I was like, that can't be it. I was supposed to feel that when you're peeing, right? And doctor was like, that was it. And then they gave me painkillers to give me injection. And I was like, okay, I went to the house. I got home 2 hours later. The pain came and it was worse. Like, it was crazy. I sent the kids to go get painkiller. I got me painkiller. I mean, yesterday I was telling my friend, now I understand why people get addicted to painkiller. So they brought the painkillers, and I drank. Apparently, painkiller only lasts me an hour. So it comes back again. The pain comes triple the amount. I take painkiller. Oh, God knows why I didn't overdose, because it was bad. I was taking painkillers almost less than every 2 hours. And on Monday came, I went to the hospital, same hospital. They did a test. Doctor, this is a different doctor entirely. Doctor asked me, is this place paining you? I said yes. And they think his appendix is about to burst. I think I threw the bottle. They gave me the bottle. It's about to burst and everything. And the doctor was like, you're supposed to have gotten a sign before now. And I'm like, no, I don't joke with my life. Like, if I am sick, I go straight to the hospital. Like, there's this hospital close to me. I do tests almost every time. Like, no, I didn't feel so much pain. Doctors who went to the hospital, they charged me, I think it was almost 260,000 naira. And I will have to stay in the hospital for 2 days. They charged me, told me the amount. This was Monday. And they gave me painkiller to keep me staying. And so I'm supposed to, they're only free for Wednesday. So I'm supposed to come to the hospital on Tuesday night. Sorry, my brother came into the room. So on Tuesday night, and okay, I was fine with it. And I got home and I was like, okay, I'm gonna pay later. I got home, got the money, went back to the hospital to pay. But when the doctor did scan for me, right? Hold on. My cough came back. I had a little bit of distraction. My cough came back and I had to get water. And then my brother came to the room to stop me. But yeah, where was I? So after making the payment at the hospital, even when they did scan, when they didn't see the appendix, but there was just something wrong. Like, I was like, this is weird, because the doctor kept saying, for my appendix to get this level, I was supposed to have felt some kind of pain. I'm like, I've never had that kind of pain before. So I was like, I know me. I was so curious, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to go to a proper lab where they do proper tests, which was the lab that I went on Sunday that they weren't available. That was on a Tuesday. Sorry. So I went to the lab and I was like, you know what? They said I have appendicitis. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it well, but sorry. My English is not that great. So I went to the hospital. I went to the lab, and it's not an hospital. It's just where you do tests, and lab is like a big lab. And I went there and I was like, they said I have appendix. I want to be sure it's appendix. I want you guys to just check. And this is why, after I've paid for the appendix surgery, everything. So I was supposed to go back to the hospital on Tuesday evening, because I was scheduled for Wednesday morning by 7 a.m. for the surgery. So I went to the hospital. I was like, can you check if I have appendix and everything? Just check everything. If my kidney was okay. And for 30 minutes, we were checking kidney. They could find my left kidney, but they couldn't find my right kidney. So I was, and then those, I don't know, you know how Nigerians portray bad news and make you feel worse than you are? That was the case. I'm an Ishekiri girl, right? So sometimes our language a little bit similar to Yoruba. So there's some words that you speak in Yoruba I will understand based on the fact that I'm an Ishaka girl. And so the people doing the scan for me are actually, sorry, let me adjust. I'm old and I'm sick. I'm almost 30, so my back is not normal before. So the guys were checking it, and then they were speaking Yoruba, and they were like, wow, we haven't seen this before, like in Yoruba. And it was weird because I didn't understand what was going on, and they were not even making it easy. And they checked, and then I kept asking. I was like, "Sir, could you explain what is going on? Like, let me know." And so it was like, "Okay, we don't know how to explain, but turn around. Let's see if we find." And they were looking for my right kidney. It wasn't where it was supposed to be, where the kidney is supposed to be. And so, in my case, it was a case of just 10% in the world. I'll be 5% in the world. And they haven't seen it before. They've been taught about it. They haven't seen it before. So they told me to turn. I turned my back. There was no kidney. They finally found my kidney. Apparently, I was born with what they call a pelvic kidney. 10 or 5% of the people in the world has it. I was born with a pelvic kidney on my right kidney. And normally, people have it when they were born, and with time the kidney grow back to move back to the proper position, but mine didn't grow or move to the proper position. And mind you, that doesn't mean I have bad kidneys, but it was a situation that my kidneys in my pelvic area, really close to where they are supposed to cut for the appendix, right? So my kidney was down there, and mind you, and the doctor said they haven't seen it before, but they've heard about it, they've been taught, but they've never come across someone that had it. And I was like, so what does that mean? And then that's where they were like, yes, you have appendix. But the truth is, I don't know if doctors in the house can explain more, but they said one of the reasons that I didn't know that my appendix was that bad was because I had a pelvic kidney trigger. So that simply means if I have small chest pain, I'm supposed to be in the hospital. If I have small tiny pain, because I wouldn't know if my kidney is that bad until it's really, really bad. And you know the funniest thing, I almost did one of my kidney to a friend who thought I wasn't serious, by the way. So, and that was it. And they were like, oh, the doctor that is doing your appendix, make sure you give him this scan and explain to them. They will understand, just give it to him. And so on Tuesday, it was on Tuesday, obviously. So in the evening, me and my sister and my sister's friend went to the hospital because I was supposed to stay over for 5 days. And the surgery is the next day, Wednesday. Sorry, I talk fast. I had given the paper to the doctors, and I was like, this is it. They said I was born with the right pelvic kidney. And the doctor was like, wow, like, thank you very much for telling us. Thank you for doing the scan. They were just thanking me, by the way. And so, yeah, that was what happened. And then we did the surgery the next morning. I was in the hospital for 4 days. I don't want to explain how it went. It to be too long to be a longer video. Maybe I'll do another part 2 of what I went through. I mean, it wasn't supposed to be terrible because it wasn't supposed to be that bad, because I don't know if because I have a pelvic kidney, but my 2 sisters have done appendix before. My stepdad has done appendix, and it wasn't as bad as mine. Because I realized that, according to the doctors, my pain level is higher than most people. Like me, meaning if normally you take, what is it called? Epidural and everything, it work for you and you won't feel the pain. But my case, I will feel the pain. I will be paralyzed, but I will feel the pain, exact pain. And that's what happened, and it was bad. It was really bad. I was in the hospital for 5 days. I came back home and I got infection from where they did the surgery. My body was bringing up pus. I was going to the hospital every 10 hours for medication, and the pain was so much. I lost so much weight. Even when I explained, I couldn't explain how I was going through. How would you understand what I was going through? It was just appendix, right? It wasn't supposed to be anything bad. Apparently, I got infected from the hospital, right, where they did the surgery, and they didn't tell me because it was so because sometimes when I am late for my medication for just 5 minutes, the doctor calls me like, oh, you have to be in the hospital, you can't miss your medication. It was bad, and my body was weak. I get an IV injection every 10 hours, and aside that, I still get an injection in my butt because my body was dripping at pus. Like, I was dripping on pus. And I felt for a long time, I felt like it's because I went to have my bath. They said I shouldn't have my bath, but I've stayed 5 days without having my bath. You get? And I'm the girl who bath at least 2 times a day. So imagine not having your bath for 5 days. And they're telling you, you have to stay up to 2 weeks. And it was weird because my sisters had their bath after their surgery, like a few days after. But in my case, it was different. How do I explain to people that I did appendix surgery and I'm dying? They're supposed to move the stitches after a few days, but that didn't happen because I was dripping. I can walk straight because my body would just be dripping pus. And I remember one afternoon, it was morning, I was sitting in the sitting room, and my sister came and she was crying and she said, "Why are you not worried?" She was there asking me, "Why are you not worried?" And I said, and to be thankful that when I'm going through, money can sort it out. Wasn't I thankful that the thing I'm going through, money can't pay for it, right? And after, the hospital didn't tell me that it wasn't my fault because for weeks I was blaming myself. I was in so much pain that I was like, everybody do appendix surgery, right? Everybody else came on. It was a normal, it's one of the most successful surgery ever in the world. Like, why was mine different? Why was I being cut? And after the epidural, what did they give me again? I felt every pain. I cried. I was in so much pain. I cried the others. It was bad. And I blamed myself. And the doctors didn't tell me. How I discovered that it was from them. It was a mistake. It was a slip from one of the nurses. Because they were giving me so much medication and they weren't asking me for any extra money. And I was asking the doctor, I know my money's a lot now. The doctor was like, don't worry, get better first. Money's not the problem. And I know Nigerian hospital, they will ask you for money. You get? They will ask you for money. It was one of the nurses that when I was in the hospital, I was actually always buying her lunch. And then she told me, I'm sorry, the infection came from the lab. I'm sorry, please don't be mad at us. It was a mistake. But I didn't let her know. I haven't been told before. I think a few months after, my cousin was like, why didn't you see the hospital? And I'm like, I don't have the energy. But the good thing is that when they discovered what they did was wrong, they made sure I came for medication. Everything was free. They didn't charge me after that. And even though they lied to me, they didn't tell me, they were actually doing the work. And I'm making sure I didn't miss my medication every 10 hours because I had to be coming from home. I didn't want to stay in the hospital. Every 10 hours, if I'm late, they call me. But it was just one of those moments that I realized, my life just flashed. Sometimes I'll feel, because I'm not supposed to do anything. My sister, obviously, she was trying her best, but I'm that girl who wakes up early morning, cleans, that's what I do. And since you're helping me, I wouldn't want you to do that. Sometimes I'll just find myself cleaning and my sister will be like, why are you cleaning? And it was like I was useless for months, from July 13, or should I say July 11 to almost ending of August. When my cousin called me, are you going to the hospital? And I'll say, yes. How are you? I'll be like, I'm okay. But I wasn't okay. I still have videos, right? I wasn't okay. I was dying. But I didn't want to. I don't have anybody to blame. You get? It was from there. I lose interest. I lost interest in a lot of things. I lost so much weight. I used to be. I'm the girl who lives for the moment, right? I live to just be me and try to enjoy life. But for months, I was not myself. After treatment ended in August, and in third week of August, but I still had some medication that I was supposed to take. I was just not it. I lost interest in so much things. I was on my own. But thankfully December came and then my family, they were around and it was sweet. And then there's someone who came during ending of August after my sister left to take care of me, even though I felt like I was the one taking care of the person. But it was just, so that's the story of how this is just what happened last year. Why one of the reasons I stopped recording, or I did stop recording a few weeks or months before, but it was one of the reasons that I did haven't recorded in a year. And I'm thankful. I am trying to show more love, be honest about my feeling, and try to spread more love and more kindness to the world, because God knows, well, I mean, the world's and then God knows, the heaven knows I thought I was gonna die. It's not what I'm explaining right now, because there's no amount of words for me to explain how I was feeling for weeks, for almost 2 months, and and how I didn't want to talk about it. My by the way, my auntie made this hair a week ago. I've scratched the living daylight out of the hair. How I was feeling, and I'm just thankful. Thankful I was strong enough. Thankful the medication worked. Thankful for the people I had in my life, and thankful that I'm not dead. But that's just it. I couldn't go in every details, but try and see your doctor when you can. I mean, if possible, every month, because we are really going through, our body system is shutting down. It's going through a lot because of the intake we take now, about drinks and everything. But just to be honest, long run, make sure you see your doctor. I have to go now, and I will try not to be away for another year. Thanks, guys.
It's coming.